Good morning, everyone. My name is Christy Hall. This is my first time giving a presentation. I am nervous, but I appreciate your patience, and I will do my very best. So let us begin. The title of my paper is Has the Millennial Nurse with Visual Body Art Been Accepted in the Nursing Field? Tattooed nurses, should they be covered or inkless? What does professionalism look like to a millennial nurse? Professionals all have a look, whether in real estate, as an executive, or any number of uniformed workplaces who have required dress codes. With modern times, what does society accept as professional in our physical appearance? Have the millennial nurses with body art openly been accepted in the nursing field today, or is a nurse with tattoos still a taboo? Beginning in the early 1990s, a rising subculture of the music industry rose and magnified with each generation. Studies show the tattoo taboo is disappearing from workplaces and have become much more the norm. A 2015 poll found 29% of Americans had at least one tattoo. For millennials, it showed nearly half at 47%, with over a third of Gen Xers at 36%. This leaves an open expectancy for many new jobs filled and are occupied with tattooed up and coming professionals. As American culture is much more open and accepting to body art, does this include nurses? Professionalism in nursing consists of many factors. Being polite, smiling, and in uniform is what the public wants to see and what we expect, but there is so much more on the inside, outside of education. Nurses obtain attributes, morals, and values critical to performing quality care in patients. In the event of a caring touch while receiving a dire diagnosis, the hand that comforts you just may be tattooed. Flanagan writes on how society perceives tattooed people in the professional field. Through a quantitative study found that although the stigma still exists, it is diminishing. Findings were to obtain a better understanding of coworkers both with and without tattoos. Many perspectives come into play when an issue of personal rights to express oneself are challenged in modern times. The majority does not seem to have too much of a negative response as far as one tattooed person's response to a coworker with visual body art. Primarily, the main concerns are whether the tattoo is openly viewed as racist, offensive, or lewd, and or pornographic. Overall, there is the each to his own concept, but in the professional world, this is a matter of dress code and policies on what is and is not acceptable in the workplace. On the other hand, the patient's view was extensive depending the age group in the study performed. The millennials' great-grandparents grew up in a different era. America was still young and wholesome. Boys left for war and came back men of war and heroes. But children grew up and time began to change, evolving through the equal rights movement. So sorry. The equal rights movements and on through the Reagan presidency into the Gen X's children, now noted as millennials. Those in their 80s and upwards were found to be most offended by tattoos on nurses and or techs, patient care techs, or doctors. The younger the generation, the more openly accepted. Investigators identified the most common reason for having tattoos is for aesthetics and as a form of self-expression and individuality. Nursing policy should be evidence-based, modeled for the well-being of patients, and allow nurses as much personal freedom possible. While these prospective policies have had research to mediate both views from patients and individuals with body art, older patients found tattoos to be a form of rebellious activity. Of the respondents, 85% of the people suggested visual body art is likely to create personal challenges and career obstacles. With a few good studies, research proves several articles debatable by opposing points of view. On visual body art, the question remains inconclusive. While today's society of the younger generation accepts tattoos without bias, judgment, or considering as an act of rebellion, are the nursing professionals' tattoos dress code allowing displays of visual body art? The answer surprisingly remains a question. Remembering personal freedom rights, comforts, and respect for patients, the induction of harmony, peace, and trust with patients of all, including coworkers, would best suffice. Covered or inkless surely is a personal statement one may agree on or wish to defy. Nonetheless, it does appear that our society is not quite ready to fully accept this personal freedom in the professional field. As it has been, and for now shall remain, nurses should not ask, but assume the millennial nurse should appear inkless at work. It was my pleasure to have given this speech today.